The wedding day was filled with joy. Cameras flashed, friends danced, and the church echoed with laughter. Clara looked stunning in her white gown, her smile brighter than the morning sun. Collins stood at the altar, unable to hide the excitement in his eyes. When she finally walked down the aisle, everything around him felt like it stood still. He took her hands gently. "Clara, I promise to love you, protect you, and stand by you, in joy and in pain." Her eyes glistened with tears. "And I promise to be your peace, your strength, and your home." Applause and cheers filled the hall. It was the start of a love story that everyone admired. But no one knew how much that love would be tested. Months turned into years, yet their home remained silent. No laughter of a child, no little feet running around. Every month, Clara bought pregnancy tests, each one breaking her heart a little more. Some nights, she cried quietly in the bathroom so Collins wouldn't hear. One evening, he came home from work to find her staring blankly at the TV, lost in thought. He sat beside her, slipping his hand into hers. "Another test?" She nodded and forced a smile. "It's fine. Maybe next month." He brushed a tear from her cheek. "Hey, don't lose hope. God hasn't forgotten us." Collins never blamed her. Instead, he prayed harder, loved louder, and smiled wider. They visited doctors, did every test. Each time, the results said the same thing. Nothing was wrong with either of them. His mother's voice became more frequent on the phone. The tone changed from polite to point. One Sunday, during a family visit, she couldn't hold back anymore. "My son? You've been married 6 years now? Where is my grandchild? Or is your wife keeping her womb for decoration?" Clara froze. The words stung deep. Collins tried to speak calmly. "Mama, please. These things take time." "Take time?" she scoffed. "Other women have children already." "You better open your eyes before it's too late." That night, Clara broke down completely. "Maybe your mother is right," she sobbed. "What if I'm the problem? Maybe you should just marry someone else." Collins held her tight. "Don't ever say that again. I married you because I love you, not for what you can give me. You're my blessing, Clara. Child or no child." His words wrapped around her like warmth in winter. But the ache in her heart stayed. At work, her colleague Ruth noticed her sadness. One afternoon, she leaned close and whispered, "Clara, there's a herbal doctor in East Sayin. He helped my cousin after 9 years. Just one visit and she conceived." Clara shook her head slowly. "I can't do that." Collins and I decided to trust God. Ruth sighed. "Keep trusting, then. You'll grow old while others carry babies." That evening, Clara sat at the edge of the bed, her mind heavy. Maybe she should try secretly. Maybe that's how others got their miracle. But when she mentioned it to Collins, he gently took her hands. "We've come too far to start looking for shortcuts." God's time is perfect. His faith became her anchor once again. Clara grew quieter with each passing month. She stopped attending naming ceremonies, muted her group chats, and deleted apps that reminded her of her pain. Sometimes she would walk into the empty nursery they had decorated years ago and touch the baby cot softly, whispering, "Someday, Lord, someday." After another friend's naming ceremony, she cried harder than ever. "I'm tired, Collins," she said, her voice breaking. "Tired of pretending to be okay. Maybe I'm just not meant to be a mother." He knelt beside her, holding her face. "Don't you ever believe that? You are meant to be one. Just not yet. When the time is right, heaven will smile on us." She leaned into him, tears soaking his shirt. That night, they cried together, not out of hopelessness, but surrender. They stopped counting months and started living again. They prayed together, volunteered at an orphanage, and found joy in giving love. One Saturday morning, while making breakfast, Clara suddenly felt dizzy. She held on to the counter. "Collins, I feel strange." He rushed to her side. "Are you okay?" "Should we go to the hospital?" She nodded weakly. "Maybe I just need rest." But the dizziness continued for days. Collins insisted they see the doctor. After running tests, the doctor walked in with a wide smile. "Congratulations, Mrs. Collins. You're pregnant." Clara froze. "I'm... what?" "You're going to be a mother." Her hand flew to her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. "Oh my God!" She grabbed her phone immediately. "Collins!" she cried into the phone. "It happened! I'm pregnant!" There was silence. Then a shout from the other end. "What? Say that again!" "I'm pregnant!" she screamed, laughing through tears. In his office, Collins fell to his knees. "Thank you, Lord!" "You did it!" Months passed, and their home was filled with joy and baby laughter again. Even Collins' mother began visiting often, her voice softer than before. One afternoon, she held Clara's hands and said, "My daughter, forgive me. I judged you too quickly." Clara smiled warmly. "It's all in the past, Mama. God has turned our pain into joy." When the baby was born, the sound of his cry filled the hospital room. Collins rushed in, tears in his eyes. "You did it," he whispered. Clara smiled weakly. "No, we did it. God did it." They named their son David, meaning beloved. A few weeks later, at the baby dedication, Collins stood before the congregation, holding his son close. "For 7 years we waited," he said, voice trembling. "People mocked us, told us to seek other gods, but we chose to wait on the true God. Today, we stand as proof that his delay is not denial." Clara took the microphone next. "To every woman still waiting," she said softly, "don't give up. Cry if you must, but never stop believing. God still answers prayers." The church erupted in praise. It wasn't just a baby dedication. It was a testimony of faith and unshaken love. Years later, Clara and Collins sat on their balcony, watching little David play with his toy car. Collins smiled and said, "You see, my love, it was worth the wait."
Clara leaned her head on his shoulder. Yes, it was. Because love that waits in faith never waits in vain. Their laughter echoed through the evening air, proof that when love stands strong, miracles always find their way home.